Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nemeka Onyeka Obineri. I'm Chairman, Southeast Farms and Agricultural Processing Company Limited. I'm one of the foremost agro value chain company in the southeast of Nigeria. I did a clip and a post on the social media of a project that we have in Enugu, especially independent layout, where we are doing 3,000 tubers of yam in grow sacks in somebody in a space donated by somebody who lives abroad, empty space in his compound in the heart of Enugu town. And some people were wondering the profitability and the economics of doing yams in grow bag, the cost implication. Of course, the cost implication they were looking at was, I showed the picture and the video of the truck that went to the outskirts of the town to pick our selected topsoil, and they saw also people bagging the soil and where it was dropped, and then those moving it with wheelbarrows into the compound and those stacking it. And the argument made a lot of sense, because there's something I've discovered in life. When you encounter a challenge, or when an obstacle is observed, or when an element that adds to your cost of funding or your cost of doing business is observed, you will always mitigate it. That is why you see the likes of Tesla, trying to do whatever they can to cut the cost of production so that they can be price competitive compared to BYD in China, because labor is cheaper in China and everything. Of course, doing yam in grow bags at the heart of the town, to them was a bit expensive, but it's not expensive compared to doing it in an open farm when you look at the whole economics. And I want to break it down for those who do not understand. For the records, it's estimated based on the census projection, the population projection of those that live in the southeast, the 5 southeastern states, that there are about 22 million people at home. Of course, the Igbo population is estimated to about 45-50 million, both at home and in diaspora, but 22 million at home in the 5 states of Imo, Abia, Anambra, Enugu, and Ebonyi. And based on the recent per capita yam consumption estimates in Igbo, we consume over 264 million tubers of yam every year, per annum. That is a yam per capita consumption of 120 kg. And that simply means for us to be able to produce domestically in the southeast enough yam produce enough yam to satisfy domestic demand, we must be able to do 2.64 billion kg of yam, or 264 million tubers of 10 kg weighted yam, or 528 million 5 kg weighted tubers of yam. And then I want us to look at economics. For those who do not know, to do a hectare of the yam, just clearing and stumping and ridging and plowing will take you almost, doing those modes for 10,000 tubers in 1 hectare will take you almost close to about clearing, stumping, will take almost close to about ₦1 million. And if you're dividing ₦1 million by 10,000 tubers of yam, it gives you clearly that already the cost of clearing, the cost of stumping, the cost of doing about 1.2-1.3 million. The cost of, because for them, those guys that do the mold, they collect almost about ₦100 to do 1 mold of where they plant the yam. So by the time you run the numbers, we are talking about almost 1.7 million to do 1 hectare. But clearing and stumping, bulldozer will take about 450,000. The tractor will take about 300,000, 280, because the cost has gone up because of the energy cost. Now you have to do clearing and packing and all the rest of them before you now start bringing those. So you're talking about 1.7 million packed aside. Now there is the cost of applying herbicides and all the things, because of, then there's cost of putting security in place, because somebody can just walk in there in the evening to steal from you. But let me tell you the economics of doing it in somebody's backyard. Like I said, we need to produce 264 million tubers of 10 kg yam weighted, or 528 million tubers of 5 kg weighted yam, to be able to at least cover to a large extent 90 to 100% domestic demand supply gap of yam in the southeast of Nigeria. And it requires almost about 26 to 50,000 hectares of land if we are doing it in the open space. But when you do it in compounds, the spacing is lesser, because if we are doing 3,000 tubers of that in somebody's compound, so to show you the kind of thing, the space is there. It's not as if the space is so wide. And another thing again is that we have the opportunity of going to else. Initially we were using tippers. We'll use tippers to bring it from the hinterland to the person's house. And of course, most tippers, even a 911 tipper that brings 2.53 tons of soil will take about 65,000 naira, which is expensive in the right sense of it. Of course, that you will need to bag about 135 bags thereabout. And then if you're using the 10-15 tonner Mack trucks, the 10 tires, that one can give you almost about 250, 300 bags. So we discovered, we did it, the numbers was a bit on the high side. Now we discovered we have our own buses, Chevrolet buses, long buses. The Chevrolet we used to move our rice from the factory in Maraba to the east. And that vehicle can carry as much as 200, 300 bags, the kind of bags that we need to use to do the yam. So basically what we'll not do, rather than incur cost of bringing the tipper and then incurring tipper cost, those that will load and those that will offload the tipper, and then those that will come back, we'll carry the people that will bag it, go to places where we've now did our soil test, get good soil. They will now mix the manures, everything there. They will bag it there. We'll load it in the back of the long buses. The way we normally load rice, and of course it's even easier to stack it. You will now stack it. We'll not take it there, they will offload it. So the cost is actually far less. And of course, we're not going to be paying for weeding all through the year. We are not paying for things that you use to tackle weeds and all those stuff, And of course, there's already an established borehole in that compound. So all we just need to do is to reticulate and irrigate point by point, drip irrigation towards all the points where you have the bags stacked in very beautiful, where people can actually come for tourism. We will do it so beautifully, So at the end of the day, we are producing the yam in the heart of the town. There's no logistics. I tell you, to get the yam seedlings from very good white yam seedlings, the one that can give you the 10 kg massive. Of course, when you grow it in grow bags, you can also help to control the shape of the yam, and also it's not like it's going to be scattering left and right. It tailors and guides it. You don't have stumps. And even when you want to harvest it, unlike when you're harvesting the yam in the farm, you're using their stumping thing, and you may even wound the yam. But because it's in the grow bag, all you just need to do when you want to, you just tear the grow bag and bring out the yam. So you can easily package it for export and create it and use a Ethiopian airline to take it, and it will meet global standards without any wound that will make them turn it back at the airport. So when you look at it net, it's actually far cheaper to grow yam in grow bag. So we've done the numbers. So I give an example. When we go to the Benue to buy seedlings, you pay for seedlings 500 naira per seedling. Good seedling, the one that can. But do you know that we bought 1,000 seedling to move 1,000 seedling from Benue to one of our stores in Ugagede, in Anambra State? Took us almost about everything took us almost about. The boss that agreed to took about 700,000 naira to move it. It was too difficult to get. So you can now see the cost we are cutting off when we are producing. Because if you go to Benue to buy yam, you still ship it. So we are producing. So what we are asking, if you have your house, empty house in the heart of the town, give it to us. We will use your place. And you must have borehole. You must have a space. Of course, the space must not be covered by other shades, so that there will be enough sunshine coming in there. And with this arrangement, you can even grow it twice in a year. It's an all-season farming. You're no longer growing yam and say, okay, we're waiting for yam season, johoro, and all those stuff. So you can grow all year round. You can grow potato when there is a gap, so that if you're able to go. So it's a beautiful concept, and you are growing it in the heart of that. And so the arrangement, if you have your space. And of course, no, you're not afraid of anybody going in the night to go and dig up your yam in the farm, in the village, or anywhere. It's in your compound, it's gated. You have your CCTV everywhere. So the numbers from day one. And of course, we have some of the best agronomists in our team. We do soil test, everything. We apply the organic nutrients. When those nutrients will be applied, of course, there is a drip irrigation that goes through that gives even the right nutrients. So it's scientific. Agric is scientific. It simply applies to every other thing. Okay, there is rice supply gap. How do we cover it? We can spend time sector by sector, product by product, sharing with us how these things that can see. Nigeria is such a very beautiful place. Now you see, we saw the problem. We saw what have been adding cost to us, and we are mitigating it. And that is how nations grow. When you identify a problem, in fact, every problem you see is actually a well of wealth. When you provide solutions to that problem, that solution is the ladder which will enable you to draw from that well. Without that ladder, you cannot draw from the well. The well of wealth will be there staring at you, but you must have that ladder. So, if you have your space, you want to fund it yourself, we will provide the technical input, we will manage it, but you must give us 20% of the profit at the end of the year. If you have your space, we will use it. We will give you only 20% of the profit too for using your facility, your borehole. So it's a win-win thing for everybody. And then, by the time somebody from Benue is bringing his yam to Enugu town, by the time somebody from Haji or Abakaleke is bringing to Enugu town, we are producing it. There's no logistic cost. And within those compounds, we are doing net bands. We are doing net bands. So polar bands. We are doing bands. It's no longer like the bands that our grandfathers did. We are doing bands there, stacked bands. I will share the picture. We are doing bands like where those yams can be stacked for a year. So that is it. So and initially, we also created an app, a marketing platform, www.usebazaar.africa, where our outlets will be listed. So if you want to buy yam, you go to that app, you will click where we have the yam section. You will see the nearest yam barn where we sell the yam, with the compound nearest to you. You don't need to go to the market. And you get there, you get it cheaper than you can get in the market. Because we are not in this to profit here. We are in this to create solutions, to create value. Also grapes. We are also doing grapes. The seedless grape that they import from South Africa, from France. In fact, I went to Rainy supermarket here. A small 150 gram of grape that I used to sell for 2,000. It's selling for 8,000. And we can grow grapes here. And we are growing it. We are doing it now in homes. We are doing it 100 here, 200 here, 50 here. And over time, we will now start using the stems to propagate our own seedlings. We are currently buying it from the north for almost 10,000 per tree. But by the time we develop the tree banks, we can now start developing the vines ourselves, developing the seedlings. And which is going to happen this year? We will crash the price. We will crash the price. We don't need to shop right. Farm City, all those marketing shops, Roban, they don't need to go to anywhere again or to import grapes and apples. We'll be supplying it to them, organically produced. And it's a win-win for everybody. You have your home in anywhere, that is gated with borehole, and there's a space, no matter how small the space is. Even if it can take 20 grow bags, we'll bring 20 grow bags and we'll install it there. We will share profit. We will help you. If you want to own it, we'll help you grow it. But our agronomists will be coming to monitor it and show somebody that will be looking after it on a daily basis. We harvest it, we share profit. Let me tell you what people don't understand. When they hear me say, oh, we want to do 20,000 greenhouses, I am not talking about owning it. We will only provide direction. We have some of the best agronomists from Kenya, from Uganda, that we are working. They are in Nigeria here, and they are training our boys. They are training. They are training our boys. I know there's a boy that just left school that came to stay with us April last year. In 3-4 months, the guy learned a lot. Most of them have moved ahead to manage other places. Knowledge is power. We tell the government, the governor, local government chairman, aggregate your people. Bring them in local government. Organize. That's how you empower youth. Organize 1,000 youth. Organize them. Bring them. 10,000, 20,000. We will send our agronomists, come and give them coaching clinics. Even give us a space in your local government headquarters where we can do the practicals with them. We'll train them. When we train them, we'll now move them to their communities, to their wards, and go there to work with them to set up clusters. And wealth is created. We can do it across all value chain. You don't even need to go into the bush to farm now. If you go to China, you will see multi-stories, farms in buildings. Netherlands does not have space. Netherlands has only about 1.2 million arable land mass. Nigeria has 64 million hectares of arable land mass. Netherlands has only 1.2. But Netherlands does 124 billion euros of agro export every year. Have you put that to ask yourself? For these 18 million people. It's technology. It's knowledge. And this knowledge, we have it. These technologies, we have it in-house. The capacity, we have it. And that is the advocacy we are pushing through. Guys, let us not wait for government. If you have space, contact us. We will work with you. We will create wealth. We will crash the prices of goods, of food commodities. And everybody will be happy. And all-inclusive wealth. We will crash down inflation. Please reach out to us. 090909000989. 090909000989 on WhatsApp, email info@cefapco.com or cefapco@gmail.com. Contact us. We are creating massive wealth everywhere. Let me tell you, if we decide to be very intentional, the governors, those in Abuja and local government working with us, in the next 1 year, I kid you not, we will create over $250-300 billion agro wealth in this country. We don't need their fact, we don't need their jack, we don't need their agile. We just need them to think along with us, come along with us on this journey. Nigeria is such a blessed place. You come and see what the young boys working with us are doing. You could see the passion, you could see the joy. A young man did 6,000 plants of tomato. In 3 months, he had over 864 crates. Harvested 864 crates of 13 kg. Calculate the number of money, amount of money involved here. And we can replicate it everywhere. On animal feed, we are crashing the price of animal feed. We know how to do this. May God help us. God help us. God keep on helping us.